tackle what I hope is not too big a project. I am going to turn this space here into a nice garden bed and maybe round it off with some rocks if I can find enough lying around the property to make like a distinguished border. But this is going to take off me to like manually rotate this bed because there's loads of grass in here, and then I'm going to have to fill it up quite a bit with some compost and so forth that I have lying around here, and yeah, eventually I'll get some plants into it and I think it's going to look very nice. Stick around. Look at that beauty. Wonderful for the soil. Okay, so I rotavated this bed now. Now the next step is for me to I'm gonna rake up all the bits of grasses that I can and try and get out as much grass as possible. Now, if you've been watching this and you're thinking to yourself, wow, Masinos! The dog just stumped the camera there. Sorry about the unstabilized footage. Anyway, you might be thinking to yourself, well, a pitchfork would be very handy right now, and that is true. It would. But I'll tell you what, with this kind of spade, with a flat head, you can get pretty far, get a lot done. So for instance, if you rotate a chunk and you get sort of this conglomerate of soil, you could just chuck it over and give it a few stumps like that, and you just completely dismantle the whole thing anyway. And when I go over with the rake now, it's going to be an easy job to get the grass separated from the soil. A lot of times you work with soil that's brittle enough already. Like half of this was like very sticky and the other half was quite brittle. So the roots just came off instantly and separated the soil from the grass. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. I might minimize some of these conglomerates real quick. Next step is to bring in a couple loads of mix between mulch and compost, because I'm gonna see, it's gonna be difficult, it's gonna take a lot of loads, but I'm gonna see if I cannot get it even, to at least play around with the slope and so on to make it sort of look as nice as I possibly can. So that would be one reason, but the other reason also is just to enrich the soil a little bit, because I do want to plant some plants here that would not be as hardy as the wild ones that was growing here. So this is going to be important food for the new plants as well. Alrighty, let me get going. Alrighty, next up I'm gonna spread this compost and mulch out a little bit. I rather unwisely took this compost from the younger heap. It's a bit younger compost, so there's a lot of brown uncomposted composted leaves. Now luckily this is my own garden, so I'm fine with that because they will compost anyway at some point. If you ever do this for a customer, it's unacceptable. Take the old compost. Alrighty. I still need to pack some rocks. Well, I need to collect them and pack them out all along the bed. Now, I do actually think that if you did a classical, just a ground work, just a bit of groundwork with this edging, ground edging work with this bed, it would look pretty sweet. However, the missus said she wanted a rock edge here, so I'm gonna go and collect some rocks. So, and I saw there in the corner I still needed a little bit of filling up to do, but I thought it would be a good idea to pack some rocks first and then get a better idea of like how much I really still need to fill up. So let me do that. So this bed now is ready for some plants to be planted here. I think it looks pretty sweet. I think actually the missus was right about the rocks. That looks really neat to me. So yeah, watch out for when I get some plants in there. I bet it's gonna look pretty sweet. I'll talk a bit more about that when I got the plants. Thanks guys.